All right, welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the world of marketing plans.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah.
So our main source material today is this guide called How to Write a Marketing Plan.
Mm.
It's from the CEO Corner Network.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be super useful for anyone listening who wants to build a solid marketing roadmap, whether they're just starting out or maybe they've been at it for a while but just haven't really gotten around to putting that formal plan together.
Yeah, I gotta admit, before I really dove deep into marketing, I had this campaign go totally sideways
Oh, no.
because I didn't have a plan. I thought I had it all figured out in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
But without that actual plan written down, it was like driving across the country without a GPS.
Oof. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Costly detours, wrong turns, you name it.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was a total mess.
So it's funny you say that because this guide actually uses that exact analogy.
Does it really?
It compares a marketing plan to a GPS for your business.
It makes so much sense though, right? Like a GPS helps you avoid those costly mistakes, helps you stay on track to reach your destination, and even find the most efficient route to get there.
Yeah, totally.
And a good marketing plan, it does the same for your business.
Love it. Okay, so for those of us who might be new to this whole marketing plan thing,
Yeah.
what exactly are we talking about here? What should we expect to see in a typical marketing plan?
So, simply put, it outlines all your planned marketing activities. Usually it's for about 12 months.
Oh.
So it's like your playbook for reaching your ideal customers, convincing them that your product or service is amazing, and ultimately boosting those sales.
Gotcha. And the guide really emphasizes that this doesn't have to be like some massive corporate style document.
Exactly, exactly. Especially if you're a small business or just starting out, you got to keep it simple.
Yeah,
It's a how-to guide for hitting your goals, not
Mhm.
some crazy thesis.
love it. Yeah. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of how to actually create this plan, let's talk about why.
Okay.
Why even bother? You
Yeah.
know? What's the point of having a marketing plan in the first place?
Well, think about it this way. Your marketing plan connects directly to your overall business plan,
Okay.
like your long-term strategic goals.
So it's not just about marketing for marketing's sake.
Exactly. It's about making sure that all your marketing efforts are actually aligned with your business objectives and driving those, revenue opportunities.
Right, laser focus.
Yes.
And I think the guide also mentions this interesting side benefit.
Yeah.
He says that having a marketing plan can actually increase your credibility with lenders.
Absolutely. Because having that well-structured plan shows them, yeah, the lenders that you've got a clear vision
Right, you've thought this through.
and a plan of attack.
You're not just winging it.
Exactly.
Very cool. Okay, I am sold.
Good.
A marketing plan is officially on my to-do list.
Yes.
So let's break down this 5-step process that the guide lays out. Step 1, SWOT analysis.
All right.
Can you walk us through that?
Yes. So SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Yeah.
And it's really like this 360-degree view of your business,
Okay.
both internally and within the market.
So understanding your competitive advantages, areas for improvement, and those external factors that could impact your business.
You got it.
Okay.
So for example, let's say your company has some groundbreaking technology
Yeah.
that gives you a cost advantage.
Yeah.
That's a major strength.
Huge strength.
But if you're struggling with, let's say, unreliable delivery times,
Yeah.
that's a weakness that you need to address.
Right. Okay. So it sounds like a SWOT analysis helps you figure out, where you stand in the market and identify those potential roadblocks.
Exactly. And this is where the guide really digs deep.
Okay.
It emphasizes how important it is to conduct a competitive analysis as part of your SWOT,
Right.
because you need to know who you're up against, what they're doing well, and where you can carve out your own little space.
Love it. All right. So once you've got your SWOT analysis down pat, what's next?
Step 2 is all about customer profiling.
Customer profiling. All right. So this is where we really get to know our target audience.
Yes.
What are some of the key things that we should be looking at here?
So it's about really getting granular and segmenting your customer base into 3 or 4 distinct groups.
Okay.
So the guide actually has this really great example of a customer segmentation table.
Nice.
And it breaks down demographics like age, gender, profession, income level, even location.
So it's about recognizing that your customers aren't just this one big blob, right? They have different needs, different motivations, different buying behaviors.
You are so right.
Okay.
And the guide actually points this out.
Yeah?
It says this is often a major aha moment for entrepreneurs.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of them assume their customers are pretty similar, but that's rarely the case.
Interesting. So by understanding these nuances, we can tailor our marketing efforts more effectively.
Exactly, and avoid wasting time and resources on those spray and pray tactics.
Love it. Okay, so we've analyzed our strengths and weaknesses. We've gotten to know our customers. What's next?
Step 3, setting objectives.
All right, setting objectives. So this is where we get really clear about what we want to achieve with our marketing plan.
Yes, and the guide has this really interesting perspective here.
Okay.
It encourages you to think beyond just financial goals.
So it's not just about hitting a certain revenue target.
Right, right. So think about the digital world we live in.
Yeah.
The guide highlights how important it is to set goals for digital engagement.
Okay, so things like how many followers you want on social media.
Yes.
What kind of website traffic are you aiming for?
Uh-huh.
What conversion rates are you hoping to achieve?
Exactly.
Gotcha. So it's about looking at the bigger picture, measuring the overall health of your brand, and how effectively you're connecting with your audience online.
You got it. And even though these metrics might not directly translate to dollars and cents right away, they can be super powerful indicators of your brand's growth potential.
That's really interesting. It's like we're shifting from a purely transactional approach to a more holistic view of marketing that encompasses brand building, engagement, and long-term growth.
Yes.
This is awesome. I'm loving this.
Okay, are you ready for the next step?
Hit me with it.
Okay, step 4 is all about the 4 Ps of marketing.
The 4 Ps, all right?
Have you heard of this?
I feel like I vaguely remember this from my Marketing 101 class. We were back when.
It's a classic.
But I have to admit, it always seems kind of theoretical to me.
Yeah, well, that's where this guide really shines. It takes those concepts and makes them super practical,
Okay.
easy to grasp.
So it's not just about memorizing definitions. It's about actually applying these principles to your business and your audience.
Exactly. So, for example, let's say you're selling handmade jewelry. The guide highlights how platforms like Pinterest and Instagram would be ideal places to reach that market.
Makes sense, yeah.
Right, because those platforms are all about visuals, aesthetics, inspiration.
Totally.
Aligns perfectly.
So it's about aligning your place with where your customers are already spending their time.
Yes.
And it's not just about being present on those platforms, but also about creating content that speaks directly to that specific audience.
100%.
Okay, so instead of just posting generic product
Right.
photos, you might create these beautiful aspirational lifestyle images that really showcase the jewelry in a context that's going to resonate with your ideal customer.
Exactly.
So you're not just selling the product, you're selling a feeling, an aesthetic, a lifestyle.
Yes.
And you're doing it in a way that feels authentic and engaging.
You hit the nail on the head. That's the power of the 4 Ps.
I'm starting to see the light.
Yes.
This is amazing.
All right. Are you ready for the final step?
Oh boy, here we go.
This is the one that a lot of entrepreneurs get a little,
I think I know where this is going.
anxious
We're
about.
talking about the budget, right?
Yes. Step 5, the budget.
Budget. All right, give me all your best tips.
Don't worry, the guide has some really good advice for keeping it simple, especially if you're new to this.
I need that.
Yeah, so first of all, it suggests starting with this simple rule of thumb.
Okay.
Aim for a minimum marketing spend of 1% of your top line revenue.
1%. Okay, so if your business is bringing in, let's say, $500,000 in revenue,
Yep.
you would allocate at least $5,000 to marketing.
Exactly. So it's a good starting point,
Yeah.
and it helps you frame your marketing budget in relation to your overall financials.
Makes sense, but I imagine this is just a guideline, right? A brand new startup might need to invest a larger percentage to gain traction.
100%. And a well-established company might be able to allocate a little less.
Right. It's all about finding that sweet spot for your situation.
Exactly.
So once we have that initial figure in mind, what are some practical steps for actually creating a budget?
Okay, well, the guide recommends breaking down all your marketing activities into specific categories, like
Right.
advertising, content creation, social media marketing, email marketing, things like that.
Gotcha. And then estimate the costs associated with each category.
Exactly.
So if you're planning to run some Facebook ads, you need to factor in the cost of those ads.
Yes.
If you're creating blog posts or videos, you'll need to budget for a writer or videographer.
Exactly. It's about thinking through all those resources you're going to need.
Right. And don't forget things like software subscriptions, design tools, printing costs.
Yes, all those little things.
Okay, this is feeling a lot more manageable now.
Good.
Breaking it down into smaller chunks, I like it.
Yeah, and here's another tip from the guide.
Okay.
Get buy-in from the person who controls the money.
Oh, the person with the purse strings.
Yes, whether it's your bookkeeper, CFO, business partner, whoever it is, make sure they're on board with your budget before you start spending.
That's a great point. It's all about collaboration and making sure everyone's aligned on the financial front.
Yes.
Okay, so we've covered all 5 steps.
We did it.
SWOT analysis to budget allocation. But before we wrap things up, I want to circle back to this idea of the marketing plan being a roadmap.
Okay.
Doesn't that sound a bit rigid? What if we need to, like, change direction along the way?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And the guide actually talks about that too. It emphasizes that the marketing plan should be a guide, not a straitjacket.
So it's like having a GPS, but you're allowed to take a few detours along the way.
Exactly.
As long as you're still heading towards your ultimate destination.
100%. And that's where the importance of regularly reviewing and updating your marketing plan comes in.
Right, because maybe you launched a new product that's doing better than expected.
Right.
Or maybe a competitor made a move that you need to respond to.
Exactly.
So you should be a living document
You should.
that evolves with your business.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, so speaking of adaptation and opportunities,
Yeah.
one thing that really stood out to me from the guide was this emphasis on identifying those high-priority revenue opportunities.
Yes.
Any tips on how to spot those golden nuggets?
A lot of it comes back to that customer profiling we talked about.
Right.
Once you have a deep understanding of your target audience, their needs, their pain points, their motivations, you can start to identify the products or services that are most likely to resonate with them.
So it's about aligning your offerings with what your customers truly value.
Yes.
But how do you go beyond just meeting those basic needs and uncover those opportunities that might not be so obvious?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
It's about digging deeper,
Okay.
looking for those unmet needs,
Okay.
or emerging trends that your competitors might be missing.
Okay.
So maybe your customers are craving more personalized experience, or
Okay.
maybe they're increasingly concerned about sustainability.
Right.
Those are the kinds of insights that can lead to some really innovative marketing strategies.
I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. It's not just about selling what you have.
Right.
It's about anticipating what your customers are going to want next
Yes.
and positioning yourself to meet those evolving needs.
You got it.
It's about being proactive and innovative,
Yes.
not reactive and stuck in the past.
I love it.
Okay, now let's circle back to the 4 Ps of marketing.
Okay.
The guide gives some great examples of how to apply those principles in real-world situations. Were there any particular examples that stood out to you?
You know, the one I thought was really interesting was the example of a company selling handmade jewelry.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yes, and the guide talks about how they leveraged platforms like Pinterest and Instagram to reach their target audience.
Makes sense.
Right, because of the visual nature of the product.
Absolutely. It's about choosing the right place to connect with your customers,
Yes.
where they're already spending their time.
Yes.
And it's not just about being present on those platforms. It's about creating content that speaks to them. So instead of just posting generic product photos,
Right.
they might create, beautiful aspirational lifestyle images that show the jewelry in a context that resonates.
Exactly, and they could even take it a step further by using video
Oh, yeah.
to showcase the craftsmanship behind their pieces.
Ooh, nice.
Imagine a short behind-the-scenes video of the jewelry being made,
Yeah.
highlighting the unique materials.
Love it.
It brings the product to life.
Yes.
Creates an emotional connection.
I love that. It's about going beyond the transactional and creating an experience for the customer.
Yes.
And speaking of creating experiences, let's talk about setting objectives.
Yes.
The guide encourages us to think beyond those financial goals and consider things like digital engagement.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
So in today's digital world, it's not enough to just focus on sales and revenue.
Okay.
You also need to measure how effectively you're engaging with your audience online.
Right.
So are they liking, sharing, and commenting on your content?
Mm.
Are they clicking through to your website? Are they signing up for your email list?
Gotcha. So it's about looking beyond that immediate sale
Mm-hmm.
and focusing on building relationships and a loyal following.
Exactly, because those metrics might not directly lead to sales right away, but they're powerful indicators of your brand's long-term potential.
It's like we're shifting from that transactional mindset to a more holistic view of marketing.
Yes.
It's about brand building, engagement, and long-term growth.
100%.
This is so cool. I'm really liking this.
Okay. Are you ready for another crucial element of marketing that often gets overlooked?
Hit me.
Timing.
Timing, okay.
It's briefly mentioned in the guide, but I think it's worth
Oh,
emphasizing.
wait, why is timing so crucial?
Well, think about it. Have you ever seen a marketing campaign and it just felt off because the timing was wrong?
Yeah, like promoting winter coats in the middle of summer.
Exactly.
Not gonna work.
Timing can make or break a campaign.
Right.
Like launching a summer swimwear collection in the dead of winter.
Makes sense.
It's about aligning your marketing efforts with those seasonal trends, holidays, or even like current events
Right.
that might be relevant to your audience.
Yeah, it's about knowing when to deliver your message to make the biggest impact.
Exactly.
Timing is everything.
Yes. Are you ready for the final piece of the puzzle?
I am so ready. Bring it on.
It's the one that often trips people up, but the guide offers some great advice.
I'm ready. What is it?
Responsibility.
Responsibility. Okay.
So we've talked about, creating this awesome marketing plan,
Yeah.
but it's totally useless if it doesn't actually get, implemented.
Right. It's got to be put into action.
Exactly. And that means assigning clear roles and responsibilities to your team.
Okay, so how do we go about doing that effectively?
Well, the guide has a really practical suggestion. It
Okay.
says to break down your plan into specific tasks and timelines.
Okay, I like it bite-sized chunks.
Yeah. So who's in charge of social media?
Right.
Who's handling email marketing?
Yeah.
Who's keeping an eye on the budget?
Right, so it's almost like a mini project plan within our marketing plan.
Exactly. You're not just saying we should do social media.
Right.
You're actually assigning someone to own it.
Love it, making sure things actually get done.
Exactly. And it's not just about assigning tasks.
Right.
It's also about setting deadlines
Okay.
and having a system for tracking progress.
So like regular check-ins,
Yes.
progress reports.
Exactly. To keep everyone on track.
It's like having a mini marketing project manager.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, so we've analyzed our strengths and weaknesses. We've profiled our customers, set objectives, mapped out our 4 Ps, allocated a budget, and now we're making sure the right people are in charge.
We did it.
This is great. I feel like we can just make this happen now.
I think so too.
Awesome. Now, is there anything else that we should be thinking about? Anything the guide doesn't explicitly mention?
There is one thing.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Imagine you've done all the steps,
Yeah.
got this amazing plan ready to go.
Okay.
Here's the challenge. What's one unexpected, maybe even creative tactic you could use to reach your audience? Something that goes beyond the usual,
Ooh. Like this, it's like a bonus challenge.
It is.
Yeah, it's so easy to get stuck in those tried and true methods, but sometimes the most effective strategies are the ones that are a bit outside the box.
Right, and that's where that deep understanding of your audience really comes in handy.
Okay, so like what are their passions?
Yeah.
What are their pain points? Where do they hang out, both online and offline?
Exactly.
Once you have that info, you can start brainstorming
Yeah.
some unique ways to connect with them.
Exactly. So, for example, if you're targeting a younger, tech-savvy demographic,
Yeah.
maybe you experiment with a campaign that uses augmented reality
Oh, interesting.
or interactive video.
Right, you got to meet them where they are.
Exactly. Or maybe you partner with an influencer
Yeah.
or a micro-celebrity who really aligns with your brand.
Someone who embodies that lifestyle.
Yes.
I love it.
So think outside the box. Find creative ways to cut through the noise and grab your audience's attention.
Sometimes the most unexpected tactics can lead to the most impressive results.
You got it.
Okay, so listeners,
Yes.
we challenge you
We do.
to come up with that one game-changing marketing idea
That one thing.
that could take your business to the next level.
Don't be afraid to experiment, take some risks, have fun.
Yeah, marketing should be fun.
It should.
It's about building genuine connections and sharing your passion with the world.
Exactly.
Who knows, maybe your next brilliant idea will be the one that, goes viral or something.
I love it.
That would be amazing.
So there you have it. We took a deep dive into marketing plans.
He did.
Hopefully you learned something new
Yeah, got some practical tools.
and are feeling inspired.
Feeling inspired.
Remember, this is just the beginning of your marketing journey.
It is.
Keep learning, keep experimenting,
And most importantly,
keep that entrepreneurial spirit burning bright.
yes, until next time, happy marketing, everyone.
So it's all about responsibility.
Responsibility,
And
okay?
we've talked about creating this amazing plan,
Yeah.
but it's totally useless unless it gets implemented.
Right, a plan without action, just a piece of paper.
Exactly. And that means assigning clear roles and responsibilities.
Okay, so how do we go about doing that effectively? Like, what are some tips?
Well, the guide, it suggests breaking it down into specific tasks
Okay.
and timelines.
Okay, love that.
So think about, who's in charge of creating the content for social media?
Right.
Who's managing those email campaigns?
Yeah.
Who's tracking the budget?
So it's like we're creating a mini project plan
Exactly.
within our marketing plan.
You're not just saying, we should do this.
Right.
You're saying, you are responsible for this.
Love it. Accountability.
Exactly. And it's not just about assigning those tasks, it's about setting deadlines.
Okay.
And having a system for tracking progress.
But regular check-ins,
Yes, exactly.
progress reports.
Keep things moving.
Love it. It's like having a mini marketing project manager.
Yes.
Okay, so we've analyzed our strengths and weaknesses, profiled those customers, set our objectives, mapped out the 4 Ps, allocated that budget, and now we're making sure the right people are responsible.
We did it.
This is awesome. I feel like we have all the pieces in place to actually execute this plan now.
Yes. And that brings us to the final piece.
Okay, what is it?
It's not explicitly covered in the guide, but I think it's a crucial question to ask yourself.
Ooh, a bonus question.
It is.
All right, lay it on me.
So imagine you've gone through all these steps. You've got this amazing marketing plan.
Yeah.
Here's the challenge. What's one unexpected, maybe even creative tactic you could use to reach your audience? Something beyond the usual playbook.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, it's so easy to get stuck in those tried and true methods, but sometimes the most effective strategies are the ones that break the mold.
Right, and that's where that deep understanding of your target audience really comes in.
Exactly.
So what are they truly passionate about?
Yes.
What are their biggest pain points? Where do they hang out, online, offline?
Exactly.
Once you have that info, you can start brainstorming.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
for example, let's say your target is, a younger, more tech-savvy demographic.
Yeah.
Maybe you experiment with a campaign that uses augmented reality
Oh, interesting.
or interactive video.
Okay, so you got to meet them where they are.
Exactly. Or maybe you could partner with an influencer
Yeah.
or a micro celebrity who really aligns with your brand.
Someone who embodies that lifestyle. Yeah.
Yes.
It's all about being creative, finding those ways to cut through the noise.
Exactly. And sometimes the most unexpected tactics, they lead to the most impressive results.
So true. So to all our listeners out there,
Yes.
we challenge you.
We do.
Come up with that one game-changing idea.
That could take your business to the next level.
Don't be afraid to experiment. Take some risks. Have fun with it.
Marketing should be fun.
It should be. It's about building those connections,
Yeah.
sharing your passion with the world. Who knows? Maybe your next big idea will be the one that goes viral.
I love it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing?
So there you have it.
We did it. We took a deep dive into marketing plans.
We broke it all down.
Hopefully you learned some valuable insights, got some practical tools, and are feeling inspired.
Remember, this is just the beginning.
It is.
Keep learning, keep experimenting, and most importantly,
Keep that entrepreneurial spirit burning bright.
until next time.
Happy marketing, everyone.